Hey, and welcome to an add-on showcase. This is Petal, an add-on I've been working on with the aim to help improve and pretty much just in every single way, improve the way that you design and test TNC builds, mainly storage tech. A lot of these commands are quite useful, in my opinion, and a few of them were only made possible with the assistance of other add-ons such as sapling, and yes, they are very useful. So I'll put the developer on the screen for now, just as a slight thank you, because there are two commands here that use logic found in sapling, and I wanted to credit them. Any hoodles, let's start. When you install Petal from the GitHub link in the description, you will want to run a command called just Petal. This will show you a list of commands that you can run. The ones with the yellow asterisk next to them are dual mode, which I'll explain in a second. However, you'll see one of these says admin commands, and that is set by a tag. So you will want this tag if you want access to those commands. The ones with the asterisks next to them are different because they act differently if you do not have the command, but we'll get to those. So I think I'll start with the first one, and it's not in this version just yet. I will add it before I make this public, but this will require canopy to work, and what I'm saying when I'm going to add it is I will add the fact that it needs canopy to the message when you enable this, but let me show you what it is first. Canopy adds a feature that makes minecarts load chunks, and if you don't already know, because you wouldn't without reading the document or anything, it's not immediately clear how far they load or like for how long. However, I have made a command to fix that. So I always do that. You need to enable it. And oh wow, okay. That might have broken it because I flicked it too quickly. I think it did. There we go. So as you can see, a grid has shown, and this shows where the area was loaded. So if I quickly grab another minecart, what you'll see is if I was to put it on here, the area moves with the minecart. And then when the 10 seconds is up that it's loaded for, it will go red first and then disappear, which I just think is so cool. And that is literally it for that one. The next one is spawn range. So you can do any spawn range you want, and it will show you the spawn range for that sim distance. Now, if I just align myself again, because I should have done that, and we run its sister command, sim range, what you'll notice is I had to do something kind of cool. So the way mob spawning works is they can spawn up to 128 blocks away. However, that's dependent on your sim distance, so it's not always true. So I just added this red border around the sim distance that just marks where mobs will actually spawn. So if they're within this area, they won't spawn. I also added cardinal directions to the sim distance because I thought that'd be cool. So obviously you have north, east, southwest, and it shows the distance in the middle. Both of these can be cleared by running their command and clear. Coolio. Next up, I will show, I'll show the signal strength command, as this acts differently depending on if you have the tag or not. So I will remove the, oh my word, I can't aim. I'll remove the tag from myself, and we'll look at this cake and go signal strength 2. And it tells you to take 6 bites of cake. Or if I look at this hopper, it will tell you that you need to add 23 items to it. So it tells you what you need to do to the blocks to make that signal strength. However, if you have the admin tag, it automatically sets it for you, which is just insanely helpful. And this works with any signal strength too. So there you go, and it sets it to 12. I think the dust here is acting weird. You'll see if I do this. Yeah, gotta love bedrock. So that's how that works, which again I think is really cool. And we have another command like it, which is called /filter. So if I give myself a block and I look at this hopper and I go /filter set 2 and set 3, and then you run the command again to disable it, you'll see that this has been set to signal strength 2 and this one to signal strength 3, which again, like, that's just so helpful, it's so elegant. And if you don't have the tag and you were to come over to, for example, these filters, I forgot to reset these from a previous example, but if we go to set these again, you'll see it, lets you try, and then it tells you that you need to run the blocker command first. So if we do that, oh, I can't type. My word, man. If we do that, it now sets the blocker to the item I'm holding. And then if we do it again, I deactivated it. If we do it again, you can see that I can set all of these. However, if I do it again, you'll see that I don't have enough blocker items. So this is useful for survival applications. Let me deactivate it. And as you can see, all of these got set, which I think is just so cool. I love it. Do be careful with this. It will overwrite the contents of the hopper before you do that. So yeah, make sure there's nothing in the hopper that you care about before you do that. Next up is another really helpful command. If you have a big build and you want to see how much the hopper locking is, we have a command for that. So /hopper check will show you all of the locked and unlocked hoppers. So you set one position and another position. This has a range of, I believe it was 300,000 blocks. So yeah, you're perfectly fine. Do note though that obviously bigger ranges will just take a bit longer. So either way, you can see here that it's marked all of the unlocked hoppers, and you can remove this with clear. Just like that. We are now onto the commands that exclusively require the tag. So there's no, oh, it acts differently, there is just, you need the tag to run this. The first one is HSS. So if we do this and we go add, and then we have all these options, I'll do pillager outpost, and then you can set the speed. By default, you will want it to be 1 if you want it to be accurate to survival mode. However, you can speed it up artificially. I need the tag. That is an embarrassing mistake to make. So you can speed it up artificially, just like so. And when we move away, if we give it a second, I sped it up just for this reason. And there we go. It took a while, but there we go. We have a spawn. And yep, that just works as it is. You can remove it just by adding remove to it, just like so. And yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Next up we have /item set, and I'm not going to go fully into detail about what each set is, but basically it's just a bunch of random items. I did not mean to take that. And we have another command kinda like it called utility items. This will just spawn a barrel full of really helpful items below you. So like, pre-filled MAS chests and filters. Admittedly, the filters are not as important now that we have this. that brings me on to the second command, which is kind of cool. Well, not second, my word, that is a complete mess up of words. That brings me on to the next command, which is encoding packets. So if we go slash packet and then hex and then your code, do note that your code has to have, I did not mean to do that, have capital letters in it if you are using hex. You'll see that it encodes that, and then we also have binary, which is obviously just a bunch of zeros and ones. So I'll do something kind of random like, that's not very random, kind of random like that. And you'll see, there we go. Note that the shovels are zeros and the bottles are ones. That's mainly how they work, but you can swap that if you want in the code. But nah, that's how most of them works, that's how that encodes. And then the last two commands I'm going to show have script events to them, which is /item summon, which will spawn any item you want, the amount that you want, and at any location you want. So if I do that, you'll see I have 20 boats, don't question it. And if I do, I'll keep all of that the same. We'll change this to be, B, why not? And then change item to multi-summon. So this just summons the amount of entities that you want at the location. And of course, as I mentioned, these do have script events. So there's the first, which is the items, and then the bees. Yes, that's a lot of bees. It's summoned 10 every game tick. And look, guys, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And unless I missed anything. So here I have a dispenser, and let me get a clock. This is a crime against humanity, but oh well. Obviously, dispensers consume items. As you will see here, it goes down, which is not ideal. So I have added a command, again, very, very much inspired from Sapling. So massive thank you to the developer of that. However, instead of just doing TNT or whatever, it does it with any item in a dispenser. So let me show you. We have /infini dispenser, and you can set it. So that's now set because it has a TNT in it. And yep, it never runs out. And again, we can reset this. And you can take your item out. But this works for literally anything. To prove this, I'll use a trident, why not? This is going to be most helpful for me for things like shulker boxes, for testing loaders. You can see, yep, it will never run out. It just goes, which I think is really cool. Do note, you will need to set this every single time you reload or join the world. I'm thinking of adding a persistence tag to this, but I'm not too sure. That is everything. I do want to mention, this is a collaborative effort. So Petal is not only going to be developed by me, you can develop it too. Essentially, the way this add-on works is there is a central core file, as I call it, that all of the commands just call whatever they need from. So if there's anything you want to add, you can. The logic for it is pretty simple. It's designed to be as space efficient as possible in terms of the file storage. So hopefully that makes it easier because you're only having to type a few letters instead of words. However, on the GitHub, I will be making a sort of documentation of how to first of all read the code file, because it's not easy, the core file, sorry, and I'll walk through how to make like a, I don't know, hello world command, just as an example during that. So yeah, give me time on that one. But if you make a command and I think it's cool enough, I will add it. Do note that my standards for cool enough are very low. If it's just like remotely interesting or worth adding, yeah, I'll add it. You can show me those commands via my Discord. I will probably end up making a Discord for this add-on separately anyway, but for now, yes, just my Discord. Show me what you do, if you do anything, and yeah, I'll see you then. Bye bye.